Okay, guys, so we are going to start with today's second session, okay? So on the same topic, okay, the need to scale up in the field of technology in Africa. Mr. Savino took us through some stuff which personally I learned a whole lot from, you understand? With this particular session, we are going to have Mr. Arhu Hartley, who will also tap on some, major points. You wouldn't be spending much time because Mr. Savino spoke about a lot. Okay, so I expect you guys to know a lot about that particular topic now. So without wasting much time, I will invite Mr. Arhu Hartley to, start with his, session. But before that, some of you missed the attendance, the one we took for Mr. Savino's session, okay? So if you missed that particular attendance, okay, don't go off in this particular session. We are going to post the link here too as well so that you get access to the forms and you fill it out. So any of those two sessions will be considered for your session, your attendance for today. Okay, so if you miss that particular one, don't lose hope. Just stick to us with this session and then you will get the link to that particular form. Okay. So Mr. Arhu Hartley, I will invite you to come on board and start with your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Richmond. Okay, please, I hope everyone can hear me very well. So, as you rightly said, my name is Hartley Kwesi Arhu, yeah. But I can call me Hartley for short, yes. Okay, so Savino has already elaborated on much of the topic already, so I wouldn't spend much time. Okay, so to get things started, okay, so the topic, the need to scale up technology in Africa, yes. We already know, like, this is, I asked Richmond to give me some points on this, and he said, oh, the topic is already self-explanatory. Yes, and it is very true. It is very self-explanatory. When we look at Africa, let's take Ghana, for instance. Technology is very, very, very minimal here. And that is very true. That is the fact. Yes, we all know that. Technology is very minimal in Africa. And Ghana, let's see, Ghana, that is where we are. And we can experience that. Ghana, to be precise, you understand? So, although Savino has talked about a lot of things, a lot. He talked about GDP. Yes, he has spoken about everything. I would like to use an article from Harvard Business Review. I would like to use that as my reference in today's presentation. But before that, I would like us to look at why there is this lack of technology in Africa. You understand? I remember when Savino was speaking, he said, is it because of colonization? It is a very interesting question. It will amaze you that one country in Africa that was not colonized also lacks technology, and that country is Ethiopia. It is very interesting. The first point in the lack, why there is this lack of technology, is poor infrastructure. It will amaze you that in Ethiopia, there is less internet connectivity, and even homes with electricity is less than 50%. So if we have to answer Oga Savino's question, I don't think it's because of colonization, you understand? Because even those who are not colonized, I think the technology at that place is very minimal, you understand? There are countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and this Ethiopia to precise, although Rwanda is of late improving in those electricity aspects. I think about the last time I checked, it was 73% thereabouts that has electricity now in Rwanda. So I think Rwanda is gradually improving. But for Ethiopia, it's still 48%, less than 50%. And that is very, very, very pathetic, you understand? And that's the first point, poor infrastructure. The connectivity, internet connectivity, having access to internet is very poor in African countries. Yes. And also, the minus point is education gap and illiteracy. Yes. I remember in social studies in JHS, we always talk about how outdated our curriculum is. Yes, that is very, very true. Then sorry, I didn't even tell you guys, I'm in University of Mines and Technology and I'm offering BSc Mining Engineering. It will amaze you that I am offering mining engineering, but the courses I'm learning, I don't know if I can be able to become a miner one day. We are learning about a whole lot of things that are not, I might say, not related to the course, but some way, somehow, we have to learn it just to pass, you understand? Our courses are so outdated. If you go to our GHS and our SHS, there are a lot of things that we are learning that, it shouldn't be learned, or if it should be learned, it should not be taken as our core, subjects or things, but we are forced to learn all those things, putting aside much more important things like this technological aspect. We might go to school. I remember in SHS we'll be learning practicals, chemistry practicals, biology practicals, but to put into practice, it is very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. You all can testify to that. How many times were you able to attend lab section? How many practicals did you do? How many of them were you able to feel it yourself? I remember in SHS1, we were given a microscope, and Abosial said, our own Richmond said he wanted to know, wanted to see the red blood cells and other stuffs in the blood. So he was he was about to examine his own blood under the microscope. But ladies and gentlemen, that microscope, I don't think he will be able to see even the color red of his blood. Let's continue. So I was in education gap and illiteracy. In Africa, it is still 40%, 40% of over 15 years of the children, like in Africa, are still illiterate. You see, it amazes me how this is possible. Over 15 years. I think 15 is a common age for schooling. I think, yes, that was why this is amazing me. So statistics prove that 40%, over 40%, children in Africa are illiterate. And for women above 25, ladies and gentlemen, over 50% are illiterate. Yes. And that I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. Over 25, I'm not surprised that much. Yes. So the education gap, if you look at the Europeans, the Asians, and you compare those people to us, it is very pathetic that the gap between us is very, very huge. Yes. And also outdated government policies. Yes, the policies of the government is really, really outdated. I don't know much about those government styles, but we can all testify to the fact that this, for example, this current government is not doing that much for us. He's not forcing. Let me see. He's the I think dollar is now 10 cedis 25 pesos or so. Yeah. I don't know. Soon we'll be hitting 11 cedis. Yes. The policies, I don't know if it's the economists we are not having or the policies in general, but I can say as compared to those leading in the nation, in the world at large, for example, USA, let's say Russia, Ukraine, although Russia and Ukraine are still in the war, but you can see their economy is a little bit stable. Yes, that is very, very true. Yes, because they have better economists, they have proper policies, they plan very well. Yes, I think that's why. And since we are talking about science and technology, generally, averagely, across the world, 2.6% of the GDP of of USA is used on science and technology. 2.6% of the GDP. When Savino was speaking, he talked about GDP. I want to elaborate on what GDP is, although we are all economists. GDP is the total monetary or market value. Like your market value of the product you are going to, of your finished product in the country, like the goods you are going to make in your country, the price, let me see, the worth of those products. So, for instance, in Ghana, I see there are a lot of mining companies. So, if you're able to process our gold into finished products, I think the value of it when you go to the world market, that is the GDP. So let's say I have a bowl here. No, let me say I have an aluminium. I am able to make this aluminium into a bowl, or let me say a utensil, anything like that. So the price of that utensil in the global market, that is my GDP. And most of the times, I think it is calculated annually. But recently, I read an article, and I think USA is now reading it, bringing its GDP quarterly. I think at the end of every 3 months or so. I don't know. Yes, I recently saw that. And for this GDP, Ghana's GDP, no, let me say, USA's GDP, USC, is 20.94 trillion US dollars. 20.94 trillion USD. Ladies and gentlemen, our own Ghana has a GDP of 72.35 billion annually. That was an annual report. 72.35 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, this 20.94 trillion of the United States, the 2.6% of it is used on science and technology. But if you calculate the amount that is spent on that, it is very huge. Yes, very, very huge. And Ghana, we have 72.35 billion. So if we take another 2.6% of it, we won't have enough money for that. So let's talk about those who have been able to start up their own, let me say, technological business or something. Is the government supporting their ideas? Is the government helping them? Let's take Kantanka, for instance. Is the government helping? I think way back in 2000 and let me see, I don't remember the year exactly, but I think those presidents that have passed, I think John Kufuor and Atamos visited, yes, Kantanka, yes, there are videos of that. But I don't know for this government and recent past government. I don't know. Although those governments visited, they were also not supporting them. That is very sad. It seems they are not supporting our own. Yes, that is very, very true. We are not supporting our own. Let's look at China, for instance. China, yes, let me say they are leading in technology. Very, very, like they are one of the topmost countries that are leading in technology in the world right now. China, when you go to China, although there are numerous social media networks in the world right now, but China is very particular about the social media they use. When you go to China, they have WeChat. Yes, I think most of us know about that. They have Douyin. Douyin is their TikTok. You understand? And they have Tencent. But I want to talk about the WeChat because WeChat is widely known. Yes, WeChat was developed by someone called Alan Zhang. He's a Chinese computer programmer. And I state emphatically, a Chinese computer programmer. You can even testify from the fact that his name is Alan Zhang. Yes, he's a Chinese. These people support theirs, like they push, they help those who have those talents, or let me say, they have those skills. Yeah, let me say skills. They help them. So and Ghana, we are lagging behind. We are not helping others. So how are we going to catch up with these people? Yes, that is also a problem and why we are lacking behind. Also, my last point is corruption, and this is very self-explanatory. We all know corruption is taking over in this our current world. Yes, not the world at large, but when we come to Africa, to be specific, corruption is taking over. I don't know if it's let me say it's becoming the new norm. Yes, corruption, and it is leading to poverty. And I think one point that is leading, one effect that this corruption is creating is an economic gap between the classes of people. I think you have three classes of people in Ghana: the first class, second class, and the third class. The first class is the president, those minister of states, regional ministers, those people. And the second class are those who are well, let me see, they are well to do on their own, like Cheddar. We all know Cheddar. Let me see, your second, despite those people, they are the second class, and they classify the rest of us as third class people. Yes, that is very, very sad. Yes, the rest of us are third class people. But when you go to, although there are similar classes of people in US and other stuff, but you can see the second class people are also very large. There are majority of people also in the second class. You understand? Okay, so let me move on to the what is the name? The Harvard Business Review, the article I want to use. Then I think that is going to be my last thing to talk about. It is very broad, though. It is very broad. So I'm going to talk about that, and will be down for today's session. So as at 2011, there were speculations that Africa is going to be the next big growth market. Yes, it has been there for a while now. They were saying Africa is the next growth market. So investors were kind of pushing stuffs like their money into African works or those things. That was when China started coming into Ghana. That was all the beginning of all those things. So it's persisted for a while. But in 2019, IMF and World Bank have cut their economic growth projections for sub-Saharan Africa to 3.5% and 2.8% respectively. Yes, and the growth in as at 2018 is 2.3%, very, very minimal. If you are to be the next big growth markets, I think the presidents or the leaders in those respective countries should do something big enough to catch the attention of foreign investors to invest in your country, to make your country develop. I think if that was the case, technology won't be minimal as this, you understand? So I think that was an error on their side. Let me move on. So from the Harvard Business Review, I read, in the past articles, yes, as of 2011. But now they are saying the World Bank project says if poverty reduction measures and growth remain sluggish, Africa could be home to 90% of the world's poor by 2030. Although this is an estimate by that is 90% of the world's population. The 90% of the poorest, 90% of those who are poor in the world will be in Africa by 2030. That is an estimation. But even if it is not 90%, I think at this rate we are going, it can be a little bit closer. Yes, that is very true. So I want us to look at some countries in Africa. That is Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, and South Africa. Nigeria and South Africa. Although in my perception, I think South Africa is leading in let me see, is far growing than all the African countries. But from what Savino showed us today, I think Mauritius is also improving. But I haven't checked on them, and let me see, I'll do that since he said we should read more. Yeah. So let's look at the ease of creating digital jobs. It is all in the article I'm reading. Yes, ease of creating digital jobs. So it says there is a potential for high-skilled digital jobs medium-skilled digital jobs and low-skilled digital jobs. So if we improve our technology, those who are high-skilled, medium-skilled, and low-skilled are all going to have access. They are all going to have ease of creating digital jobs for themselves, and that is going to earn them much money. You understand? I'm still elaborating on the need, why we should need for us to improve on our technology. Yes. So if our technology is that much improved, not only robotics is technology. So we have mobile technology. Understand? Savino was also talking about that. He said even car is technology. Yes, I quote from him, Savino. And those high skilled, medium skilled, and low skilled will have access to. If they have access to the internet, they will be creating jobs for themselves. And this is what they call the digital job. So there will be low skill digital jobs, medium skill digital jobs, and high skill digital jobs. Although there are some digital jobs in Africa right now, but I don't think it is that much. I will show you in few minutes to come. There is a graph. Let me see a graph. Yes, it is a metric. It's a metric of how digital evolution is in Ghana, in Africa at large. Sorry. So I'm done with the low skilled, yes, creating jobs for those people. Let's move on to the governance and infrastructure resilience. I've already talked about this. The government is not doing its job well to help in the technological development of Ghana, or let me say Africa at large. We have online freedom. Does the government allow for free speech and exchange online? Does the government allow for free speech and exchange online? Although it allows, but I think if you go beyond the limits, the law will deal with you. Yes. So they are all points that is narrowing its way to why we need to develop our technology as a continent, and Africa to be precise. There is foundational digital potential, and I read overall state of digital evolution. What is the level of the country's digital development as measured by a digital evolution index? And this index is also different from the index human development index I think Sabine was talking about. Yes, they are all similarly related, but this is also different. This is that I can't elaborate that much on that, but I think you can read. Also, use of mobile money. Mobile money, okay, I'm limiting ourselves to mobile money. Let me say e-cash, electronic cash. In Africa, we think Ghana, since we are now using that mobile money, so we think that is very common in Africa, but it will amaze you that among the countries I already mentioned, Egypt, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Nigeria, South Africa, it is only Kenya and Rwanda that is more into digital money. It is only digital. It is only Kenya and Rwanda that is much more into that. But for others, ladies and gentlemen, they are far way behind. Not if you go to South Africa, for instance, they are not using digital money that like that, unless I think those e-switch and those things. But like MTN mobile money, those things, they are very, very minimal when you go to such countries. Not only South Africa, but Ethiopia is far behind in those things. Yes, they are way behind. Ethiopia, they are far behind. But Egypt is also close to making digital money a thing there, but it is also not there yet. Yes, it is also not there yet. So I want to classify these countries into 4 aspects, and one is paving the way. I will classify Kenya and South Africa as paving the way, and the second one is punching above its weight. That is for Rwanda. And the third one is untapped opportunities for good. Egypt and Nigeria. Yes, untapped opportunities for good. Egypt and Nigeria. And potential for greatest digital gains. Ethiopia. But although they are saying they have the potential, no, Ethiopia is not also tapping into those potential. They are just way behind. Even Ghana in technology, yes, that is very true. Although Ghana is not that much into technology, I think Ethiopia is far behind. So it went on, the article went on to talk about each of the countries, and I want to first go about these countries, and we'll be done for the day. So South Africa is a regional leader in the ease of creating digital jobs. Yes, buoyed by a strong consumer demand for digital business and an institutional environment that offers supportive regulations, comparing favorably against key emerging market nations in Latin American and Asian or Southeast Asian region. So this is very obvious. South Africa is competing in the world markets as compared to other African countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Togo. I shouldn't even mention their name because they are way behind. Togo, Benin, they are all way behind. They are all far behind. And I continue to read, South Africa also has several facilitating factors that reinforce its strength on a continent that struggles with power outages. It has the lowest frequency on monthly outages among the countries studied. So among the countries that have been mentioned, I think although Ethiopia has 48% of their homes having electricity, South Africa also is suffering from power outages. Doomso, that is the Doomso. South Africa is suffering from that. Yes.
Please, Arhu Hartley, please let me pass on this information.
Okay, sure.
The meeting is going to end in 10 minutes time, okay? So when it ends, please try your best to rejoin. The link is still in the WhatsApp group, okay? So when it ends, that is not it. We are still continuing. So just go back to the group and tap on the link, okay?
Okay, sure. So I'm continuing. Okay. So after this, I'll try my best to get a link for you guys to access this article so that you all can read this. It is very interesting. And South Africa was ranked 19th globally as a financial hub by the World Economic Forum, which also scored the country highly for having one of the most advanced transport infrastructures in the region. Yes, South Africa is developing. Now, I won't lie to you. South Africa is really developing as compared to other African countries. It's really developing. To get 19th on globally as a financial hub. So let's continue. Let's continue with Kenya. Kenya, they have what is called Silicon Savannah. Silicon Savannah, and it is located in Nairobi. It is. I think they have been growing a little bit over the past years. Yes, they have been growing a little bit in technology. So I read Kenya has a growing tech-savvy ecosystem. Yes, that's very true. Yes, I can attest to that. Kenya is growing in technology. They are they are increasing. And as I said, they are also using those digital money I was talking about. And 70% of Kenyans are now using those mobile money. Yes, 70% of Kenyans have a mobile money account, and over 75% of Kenyans age 15 or older made a mobile money payment in the last year. Yes, they are increasing, and I think Ghana can tally those statistics because nowadays the mobile money is all we are using now. Okay, so during the past decade, Kenya has advanced quickly as a hotspot for some of the continent's most innovative digital enterprises, such as Ushahidi, M-Kupa, M-Tiba, etc. There are 200 digitized services offered through Hunduma e-centers, countrywide, and a comprehensive online government to citizen services. Government to citizen services platform, e-citizen, Kenya's policymakers have enabled a favorable regulatory environment and have promoted a high use of digital payments. Yes, yes. As I said, they are really doing well. They are really doing well as compared to other countries. Although you can't compare them in the global markets, but they are really, really. I think they are trying their best. Yes, and some of the recommendations were a Kenyan born today is likely to achieve at most 52% of their potential if they survive to adulthood because of the gaps in education and health systems. Yes, so as I was saying, education gap is something that is causing all these things, and Kenya is also facing such problem. Kenya, the education system is very poor. I try to remember there was a video circulating on social media, and I think they were they also do those school feeding program, but the food they were giving them, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think if it was Ghana, like I think all parents would have put the government. Okay, so I'll be ending soon. I'll be ending soon. So I would like to end with Nigeria and Ethiopia, and that'll be it. Nigeria and Ethiopia, that'll be it. So Nigeria has powerful international entrepreneurial climate with innovative ventures such as Jumia, InterSwitch, Kobo 360, and Andela. Yes. So I think the Andela, I know about the Andela. So it is a technological hub, I think, in Nigeria. Yes, that's Andela. You can research about that. It is Andele. Yes, Andela. It is one that is very popular in Nigeria. And also Jumia, we all know Jumia. Jumia is owned by Rocket Internet. Yeah, I think it's owned by Rocket Internet, and that is the parent organization for Jumia. You understand? That is the parent organization, the Rocket Internet. Yes. So Nigeria although has several technological advancements, but I don't think that is enough. Yes. Although, for example, in Ghana, there are some technological, let me see, items or things here, but it is not that enough. For example, Kantanka also has his own cars. Yes, several of them, numerous of them, but we are still lagging, and we have to awaken ourselves. We have to be the catalyst of change. You understand? So that some things not necessarily sorry not necessarily affecting the whole country, but impacting the little lives we can. You understand? So I continue with the Nigeria. The relative affordability of Nigeria's internet is key. Yes. In Nigeria, I think the Glow network. Yes. You see, Glow is how they have one CD is to what's the name? 1 GB. They had those offers. So if you go to Nigeria, affording internet or data is not that expensive. It is very, very affordable. Yes, in Nigeria, that is very true. And I think this is helping, but as I said earlier, although they have those things, but it is not enough. The Economist ranks its first in affordability in the region. Yes, that is very clear. If they rank first in affordability of data buying, I don't think that it's a cheat, because Glow alone can be their let me see, their source or something. For MTN, you all know MTN, right? You buy data safe, no the catch. Okay, so I continue. So key recommendations. Policies to facilitate digitization must adapt to many challenges, which themselves must be addressed over time. There's a high frequency of power outages, low level of public trust in technology, and a large informal economy. 65% of GDP and 80% of workforce. Yes. So that is the informal economy, the large informal economy. 65% of their GDP and 80% of workforce. I think the economists will be able to help us say, but I don't really understand what they mean by the 65% of their GDP. But what I want to say here is although we are talking about government policies, we have to know that every policy will might and will come with a challenge, and with time, I think the leaders should try and adapt themselves to every challenge that a policy will come with. You understand? They should try and adapt themselves with those challenges and solve those issues. And also the power outages in South Africa also is also in Nigeria. It's also in Nigeria. I'm not trying to say because of South Africa it is affecting Nigeria, no, but Nigeria also has its own power outages problem. Yes. Right now, I don't think Ghana is having those things, although there might be one or two on and off switches, but as compared to way back 2013, 14, 15, there, I don't think it's like that. Okay, so Nigeria's sizable super wealthy community should be better encouraged to participate in early stage and angel investment in digital startups. I don't think this is for only Nigeria. I think this is for all African countries. Yes, we should encourage young people to participate in early stage digital startups. Yes, like the RichTechWorld. It's an early stage digital startups. Yes, we should encourage more people to do this. I think when our founder Richmond Apostle, but when you started, I know there will be several challenges, but I also know there will be encouragement here and there, maybe from parents, from friends. Yes, I know definitely there is going to be encouragement, because if there are no encouragement, he'll be discouraged to start something big like this. Me, I can see this is going to be big sometime, and we are hoping that comes to pass. Okay, so the last country I want to talk about is Ethiopia. I said in the beginning they were not colonized. They were not colonized. Sorry, they were not colonized, but they also have challenges in their technological aspects. Yes. Okay, so I read Ethiopia is experiencing positive development in several areas that can facilitate digitally enabled growth. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who won the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize, has a background in and an understanding of the tech sector and has been implementing reform in a number of sectors, including privatization of several state-owned entities. Ethiopia has also been upgrading its infrastructure with $20 billion investment in the power sector. Yes, so for Ethiopia, there is no power outages there, yes, because they invest a lot in there. They invest really a lot there. And this article is saying they recently invested 20 billion in the power sector. Yes, you can imagine. Yes, and their prime minister has won the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize, and I don't know what the Peace Prize has to do with their technology, but they are saying he also has a background knowledge on technology. Yes, he has a background knowledge on the tech sector, and they are saying he has been implementing reform in a number of sectors. Yes, they have been implementing this in a number of sectors. That is the power sector, for example. That was what they are talking about. With okay, overall enrollment in higher education facilities in the country have grown 5-fold since 2005, and the government has a policy of training 70% of their students in STEM. Yeah, so they train, although they train students in STEM, and I think STEM is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Yes, right now, Adizado College has a STEM building in their school, and I think that is a plus for them. It is one of the very few in Ghana. Yes, Bisado College. Yes. Okay, so Ethiopia has been training 70% of their students in STEM, but although they train, but where is it taking them to? Although they are learning it, but to practice it is another story to talk about. And they have a tech hub, Sheba Valley, which is the fast emerging tech hub in Ethiopia. Yes, the country has several homegrown hail ventures, Ride and Z Ride, startup marketplaces, Gibeah and Blue Moon, as well as an Arctic incubator and sea fund. The Ride and Z Ride is like boat and Uber. Yes, that is how it is. It is those rides. You understand? Yeah, it's like boat and Uber. I think we all know about these things. And their recommendation was with only 15% of its population online. Wow, 15%. Low spread of 3G and 4G technologies and low use of digital payments. Only 12% of the population over 15 years of age made or received a digital payment in 2016. Yes. So I was saying that 30% for South Africa was their lowest, but when you come to Ethiopia, 12% has been their lowest in 2016. Yes. So I think South Africa is even better than Ethiopia in digital money or digital payments. Yes. Because South Africa, their lowest is 30%. And for Ethiopia, it is 12%. Yes. And they are saying 15% of the population in Ethiopia are online. Wow. 15%. That is nothing to write home about. Yes. But I think internet access needs to be made more affordable and reliable for the Ethiopians. Yes, that is going to help very much, because if the prices are expensive and your GDP is that low, you have poor economic management. I think your people are not going to be able to purchase what is the name, the data and access the internet. Yes, so I think they have to make it more affordable and reliable. Yes, privatization of key sectors can help catalyze competition and an entrepreneurial climate. So key sectors, if you come to Ghana, we have Unilever and those high brands. Let me see, Unilever, what again? Let's stick to that. If those high brands, okay, we know about those high brands, that are competing. Let me take the fabrics to be an example. If you look at GTP and Spentex, they are competing in the market. So they're saying if we privatize their key sectors, it can help in the competition and entrepreneurial climates. That's the recommendation, one of the recommendations given. And the last one I'll be talking about is the ensuring reliability and key infrastructure should be prioritized. An unreliable power supply, along with the international internet shutdowns during anti-government with a state of emergency or to limit exam cheating. So also they have power outages, but not that much. Yes, not that much as compared to Nigeria and South Africa. Just that it is unreliable. The time you not be expecting it, it will be off. Yes. So yes, that is all I want to say for now, and I like to encourage us all to endeavor into technology, because that is where the world is going now. Me as a mining engineering student, I know technology is also helping in the mining sector. So I have to also learn technological advancements in my sector. So each and every sector that we are, we also have to seek for the technological advancements there, because sometimes it come, if all you know is the old method or those things, then the employment will be very difficult for you. Getting a job will be very, very, very difficult. And I don't think all of us here would want that. So let's try our possible best, endeavor into technology. If you get the chance, study something, learn about EV3 hardwares. Let's learn. Let's build ourselves in the technological aspects, and I think we will be fine. Yes, we will be fine. So that is it. That is what I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There might be errors somewhere. I am open to accepting it. If you have anything to say, I am ready and willing to listen. Thank you. Richmond.
Okay, so Hartley, thank you for impacting this knowledge you have into us. Some of us didn't know, like me. Yes, most of the things you said, I had no idea about them. It's today that I'm learning them. Okay, so I've actually benefits from this session. And the thing I learned from this particular presentation you just give us is that I have to, as a country, we have to support our own. You understand? Okay, so in Africa here, we have to get leaders who support people in Africa, not sending them money or investing into other countries, things. Okay, so for instance, Kantanka is doing a whole lot, and we have young startups in this field of technology, and mostly our leaders don't support. So that is why we are stuck into this thing that we call startups. You understand? We are all startups. So I will encourage the government out there to see this to be something useful, because if you don't support your own, no one from elsewhere will come and support you. You understand? And there is a saying that so if you are in Ghana and then Ghanaians are doing something, you need to man up as a leader and then support what they are doing. Okay, so that Ghana or Africa at large can be a better place for all of us.